Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN, taking a look at Strike Vector EX, which is on its way to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I played it on PS4, and I gotta say, going in not knowing a ton about this game, I know it's been out on PC, this was really fun, so I just wanted to, I played a bunch of it. It's, the new version adds a single-player campaign, and it's not a huge multi-hour thing. It's I believe it was 10 or 12 levels. They can be done in 3 to 5 minutes each, but there is a lot of incentive for replayability to beat your friend leaderboards, global leaderboards. And then what we're actually looking at here isn't the campaign proper, it's Skirmish mode, which is basically the online deathmatch mode, but with AI bots. So there are different planes you can use. Well, they're not planes per se. They will turbo forward, but they can also sort of VTOL hover like helicopter style there, as you see me doing. In fact, I picked up the controls really quickly and easily here. It's the usual, just right trigger to surge ahead, and then if you let off of it, you'll just hover and stop. So I found that really useful for trying to aim at stuff. There are different weapons, different special abilities you can use. There's just a lot of interesting things going on here. So it's nice, smooth frame rate. It's the AI was actually fairly competent. You can see I'm off to a slow start here, but I'm going to pick it up here in a minute and end up with a whole bunch of kills. There are some repair power-ups floating around. There are you've got AI teammates flying around as well. You can dodge missiles by hitting square on the PS4 pad to do a quick barrel roll to one side. I was very pleasantly surprised at how good this game felt, and I'll say it's most reminiscent of it's basically an old school 2D shmup, but in 3D form, sort of brought to life in a modern 3D setting. Even though, granted, in old school shmups, you really wouldn't stop at all. The most you could do would be to slow way down, maybe at one side of the screen. Whereas here, you actually can stop and hover. But yeah, see there, you see a supply drop. So still slow to get started. But then we'll start picking up. And here you can see between deaths, you can pick your specialization. I went with, I think, which one did I go with? Oh, let's see. The Stealth Enhancer is a good passive ability. And then, the Special Action. This one is the one you actually deploy. So mines were useful. The Rocket Booster was... I like the Stalker Mine, which will actually seek out any nearby targets. But they can also be friendly targets, so it's going to seek out anything nearby. So here we go, getting back into the flow of the action. Just... can zoom way in. So what I'm going to do here in this playthrough is try out a number of different weapons. So this is the plasma beam, which is, it's basically a sniper rifle. As you can see, I'm a sitting duck here, but I'm hanging way out of the battlefield, so I'm not at a lot of risk. I'm trying to pick that guy off, but ultimately this was not quite my play style. So after I die here, I'm going to switch weapons, but yeah, so if you're darting and diving around a lot, I'm gonna have a hard time hitting them. So here, let's see. You can see I'm a complete just fish in a barrel right now, but fortunately no one seems to notice me off to the side. There's a pretty good cooldown time on this plasma beam as well, although of course the upside is if you do connect, it's really super powerful. The levels themselves vary. This one is pretty open. Yeah, there's of course some structures around, but it's pretty easy to just hit the jets and really soar around. Some of the other levels are a lot more claustrophobic. There's sort of large floating structures that really provide a lot of cover options and aren't as conducive to turboing around the map. So here, let's see. I'm gonna get it locked on. Boom. On fire, on fire. You notice there the prompt. You can self-destruct, so you're going to burn for those last few seconds before you actually explode. If you've got somebody nearby, you can just hit your self-destruct, and you might take them with you. So this is the standard rocket, or no, this is the homing rocket now. This was a pretty good weapon. You gotta hold that trigger for a second, lock in, boom. So that did about 3/4 of his life bar right there. Get around the hard right, hit the repair. There we go. Got my shields maxed out. Stay away from the friendlies. There we go. There was my barrel roll too. Missile alarm, no. See, barrel roll will get you right out of it. So yeah, it's coming to Xbox One, coming to PS4. I had never played this before, even though it had been out on PC, but I picked it right up right away. I think it was just years of old school shmup skills coming back to me that had been dormant in my body for decades. I mean, some of my favorites. I was a TurboGrafx guy, so Gates of Thunder and Lords of Thunder were two super favorites of mine. Of course, those games had amazing soundtracks as well, the like super metal soundtrack. And that's what this game kind of reminds me of, is those old school shoot 'em ups. But of course in a 3D setting. So I'm trying to get this guy. And as you can see, they're not super long rounds, 3 minutes 13 seconds left to go in the round. Get that guy, try to finish him off. He's ducking back and forth. This would make a fun PlayStation VR game if they decided to put that version out later. I would not be opposed to that if they decided to do PSVR on this. Having played, especially, I've played Eve Valkyrie, which, this would sort of fit into that same genre of. This would be fun with VR, but there is also a first-person camera, like a sort of a cockpit. I mean, it doesn't show the cockpit, but it's like a bumper cam in a racing game where nothing is rendered. It's like a camera attached to the front of the in this case ship. But I preferred the third-person view where I could at least see my ship a little bit and get a better feel for what I'm doing. You can float through there. That was a enemy power-up. And then I dropped my stalker mine there. You can see it. It went off and killed a couple people on that one. That was my special ability. So let me see if I can continue to succeed. You see, we're starting to pull ahead now. And I also haven't died in a while, which is good. That's what I'm happy that this playthrough at least has. I'm doing reasonably well and not embarrassing myself for all of the IGN audience. If I remember correctly, this game is going to be $20, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's of course online. Full online multiplayer, and then yeah, like I said, they added the single player mode. There is this mode here, which is Skirmish. And yeah, I played the first 2 or 3 levels of the actual campaign and blitzed through them pretty fast. But there is a little bit of a story. It's almost it's cheesy, and I hope it's intentionally cheesy because it is cheesy. So hopefully it's on purpose. And you can see now I'm up to 12 kills. I kind of went wild that round. 1 minute left. You'll see let's just watch me cruise to victory here. But yeah, it's a pretty cool map. There are areas you can go. You can shoot those big explosive fuel towers just for fun, or if somebody happens to be nearby. There's a guy. Let's get him. Boom. Oh, he's got like 5 health. There's another enemy power-up used near me there. Ouch. Got tagged right there. But used a mine and my missile. Got a couple of kills on that. 12 seconds. So yeah, just to wrap this up again, Strike Vector EX, totally pick up and play fun, old school shoot 'em up style, but in a 3D space you're not flying around all the time. You can actually stop and hover if you want. Adds a little extra variety to the gameplay. I really had fun with this. For much more on hidden gems like Strike Vector EX, you're already in the right place right here at IGN.